Leticia James opened the door for this. And I think the reason why Kevin O'Leary is freaking out, I think when you start looking into this is where you start to realize she may have just destroyed the entire real estate market. Because now the argument is, look, that market value for his condo apparently now is only $14 million because that guy lost $4 million on it. But the reality is its assessed value is 1.8. If they're not paying taxes on it, they're either tax cheats or they're overinflating the value of their properties. And for what reason? I say we go after them. They got to pay their fair share. Jon Stewart, time to pony up your taxes. How much are you not paying on your? I Googled it. His net worth is estimated at $120 million. How much is he not paying? Got to pay their fair share.
Absolutely. He is not paying millions and millions of dollars, I bet.
You know, I want to give a shout out to Gen Z too, because when we talk about wealthy people paying their fair share and it going to newcomers, if there were a fair share to be paid, at the very least, it would go to the younger generation who is inheriting this country. But it is not. It's going to strange people who just showed up. Maybe we should get some Gen Z. Maybe this is why Gen Z has become so based.
Well, Gen Z doesn't even realize this. I mean, if you look at housing prices, which have risen so dramatically, one of the reasons is the millions of people who are now in the country illegally all have to live somewhere. And that's driving real competition for housing pricing. And so you may not see it influence you in your everyday life, but wherever you are in America, your housing prices are influenced by the vast influx of people who are in our country in the last 3 years and quite frankly don't belong here.
James Lindsay's getting in on the Jon Stewart memeing too. He's retweeting this stuff about him. So, I mean, look, like I said, time to start throwing the book at Democrats. If you've broken the law, again, this is not saying that anyone that hasn't broken the law shouldn't be, or, you know, if you don't have evidence, you shouldn't create it. So we're actually being better than the Democrats if you aren't creating evidence to justify an investigation. But if there's evidence, investigate them. If they've broken the law, throw the book at them.
I think we should have I think it's time to play ball, baby. Yeah. I think I don't know, Phil, maybe you go a little too far saying even if they're jaywalking, but at the very least I can say this. Republicans who in any way have any legal control, DAs, governors, whatever. If Jon Stewart, how much you want to bet he's got property in Florida?
Oh yeah.
It's time to open up the books, baby. And it doesn't matter when they went after Donald Trump in New York, they went after him over his DC hotel. That's not in New York. It doesn't matter.
Correct.
The lending was, and that's where they say the underlying crime took place. Okay, let's roll. Florida. Are we going to get anybody in Florida start looking into Jon Stewart's? I say it's time to throw the book at all these individuals and say Jon Stewart admitted on his show that paying a lower tax rate than the market value was fraud. How is it? Well, then here's what we do. You get him in court to admit he lied and he knew what he was saying was false. Bring him to court, make him admit it.
Yeah. And a good lawyer should be able to do it. I mean, he's provided enough information of his own volition. He's told his opinion about people that are trying to get over on taxes, and he's also, then there's public records for whatever he paid.
And he's boxed himself in. Yeah. I mean, because even in that response, he didn't address the charge. He went on to all these other things.
Yep.
He's bringing up everything else. It's just deflection. Ooh, look over here. Don't look at what I did with the taxes. Look at all these other issues that I'm bringing up that you should be afraid of.
That's why my response is, okay, so we won't imprison you for insurrection, but we'll seize all your assets.